Oh, right.
Or one and over two. Right, like no single.
Oh, there's no single there?
Forward, two, and then over one. So I go two and then this way. And then you go two squares.
Matt Conrad with Robert Garcia here at the Robert Garcia Boxing Academy. First of all, Robert, thanks for giving us some time. How you doing? It's been a busy week.
Great, man. Been doing great. Had some big fights in the last few weeks. Took some time, took a week off. Now I'm back in the gym to finish up with the rest of the fighters.
How does it feel to have a nice week off after?
It was awesome. It was probably the first time I ever took a nice vacation where I wasn't answering any phone calls or anything, and especially after my Dana Mayweather fight, I didn't answer no phone calls. It was relaxing. I enjoyed the weekend, the whole week with my family.
Is that constant press attention? It's kind of part and parcel. Do you enjoy it at all, or do you just like, I want to train and that's it?
You know what? I needed it. I was already, the last couple of months, I've been getting sick often and stuff like that, because I just haven't taken any time off for the last 5 years. Just working, and especially the last 2 years, we've been very busy. We've been working every weekend. So this time, I said, you know what? I have to take some time off. So I took 5 days off, and it was the best thing. Best thing.
In the aftermath of the Maidana fight, how do you think Chino performs?
I think Chino performed great. To me, we didn't win the fight, but for a fighter like Chino, a one-dimensional fighter, to be able to do what he did with Mayweather the first time, and then the second fight, he fought differently. It was a different type of fight, and still be able to counter and jab and make Mayweather miss sometimes. I think it was something that nobody would ever see Chino being able to do something like that. I'm very happy with his performance. I'm very happy with the work that we did in the gym, because Mayweather is the best in the world. He's the best fighter pound for pound. For Chino, a one-dimensional fighter who 2 years ago was thinking of retiring, now fighting Mayweather for the second time, that just tells you everything.
We have no fucking clue what we're doing.
Who is winning this game?
It's just funny watching them. It's just funny watching them, man.
Say again?
It's just funny watching them both. They both have no idea what they're doing.
This is a man who looks like he knows what he's doing.
He doesn't treat it.
Looks to be deceiving them.
I know what I'm doing.
What's next for Chino? I mean, he has got incredible exposure. He's really developed as a boxer. What's next for Chino?
Look, I don't handle that because he's got a manager. Sebastian Contursi and Al Heyman, they handle that. But I know Chino's in great position right now. Even though he lost to Mayweather, he did not lose where he got knocked out or where he was embarrassed. I think what we did is something that nobody's ever done. So Chino's still in a position where he's worth a lot of money. So there's a lot of big names out there, If you're talking about any fighters from Golden Boy Promotions, countless. They pretty much have them all. But then, there's also those negotiations where if they're able to negotiate something with Top Rank, even a PACQUIAO fight, I would love it. I would love it, and I'm sure Top Rank would love it too. Where you been? Chila, I didn't see you. Hey, it's third of the month, brother. It's third of the month, right? It's third of the month. Yes, it's third of the month.
I have to ask you about this whole All Access controversy and Floyd with the Nevada State Athletic Commission. When shows like All Access come in the gym, it seems like you were pretty down-to-earth gym and pretty regular, and there's no flamboyant creativity for the cameras. How do you feel about Floyd's claim that everything that happened in All Access for him is fake and staged?
Look, Floyd is Floyd, and he's the only fighter in this world that could do stuff like that. He's the only one that could get away with anything. He pretty much calls the shots. He pretty much controls the whole boxing world.
Is that bad for boxing?
Well, not that it's bad. It looks bad, but everybody's still paying for their tickets. They're still ordering the fight on pay-per-view. So I'm not saying it's bad for boxing, but it does give boxing a few bad reputations, especially if commissions are allowing that and they don't do much about it. There's throughout the United States, there's the laws where amateur fighters cannot spar professional fighters, and then rounds going 30-some minutes. That's bad, but it's Mayweather. We gotta know. If it was here in my gym, I'd probably already be penalized and suspended for a while. But Mayweather gets away with it. Mayweather gets away with it. He overrules the commission. He overrules the sanctioning fees. The WBC, the WBA, the Nevada Commission, the judge. He pretty much calls the shots.
Does that damage boxing's reputation? I mean, no one really likes to speak truth to power in these situations because they don't want to risk getting exposed. But does sometimes enough have to be enough?
It should be, but like I said, how much money? Mayweather's the one that generates so much money. He generates millions twice a year to Las Vegas. So if the Nevada Commission suspends him or gives him or penalizes him really bad, then if he doesn't fight in Vegas, then twice a year Nevada is going to be screwed because he generates millions and millions every time he fights. There's hundreds of thousands of people that show up to Vegas just to be there the week of the fight, and that's millions of dollars. So you also got to understand that. I understand it. That's why I say props and respect to Mayweather for being the only athlete in the world to be able to do something like this. He gets away with it.
Back to Marco. Tell me about your relationship with him personally, and how you would talk to him versus how you would talk to a Brandon.
Look, Marco is a very dedicated fighter that when he came to me, we first became friends. That's one thing I like to have with my fighters. We become good friends. But with Marco, he's already so focused and prepared for what we're supposed to do, the kind of training we're gonna do. Everything I tell him to do, he does. So I don't really have to push him that hard or force him to do something because he's already doing what I'm telling him to do. With Brandon, it's a different story. With Brandon, we're more he's like my little brother. So with him, it's more sometimes I have to get mad at him or he'll do something on purpose to get me mad. Oh no, today I don't want to do this. Fuck it, you got to do it. Stuff like that. So we could get into a little argument, a little fight, because he doesn't want to do it. Where with Marcos, with Maidana, it's totally the opposite.
What are your thoughts of PACQUIAO Algieri?
Well, look, I don't think it's going to be a fight that sells a lot. It's a fight that might not interest a lot of real boxing fans to order on pay-per-view. I don't think it'll sell on pay-per-view, but it's an interesting fight. Chris Algieri is young, hungry. We train him for 3 fights, and he's very dedicated. This guy is so dedicated. He's so healthy. He maintains his weight. So those are advantages. He could take those advantages. Plus, he's got 3 or 4 inches of reach advantage, height advantage, and reach advantage. He's got a good advantage. So if he fights smart and boxes and keeps it on the outside, he might have a chance. But Pacquiao's Pacquiao. Pacquiao's so fast and so powerful. I see it very hard for Chris Algieri, but it's not it's not impossible. If he boxes smart and he moves around and he uses his reach, he's got a shot.
Do you see Brandon fighting Mike Alvarado for the third in the trilogy?
That has to happen. Cameron Duncan, Brandon's manager, is looking into that already, but there's other options that we have. The Alvarado Rios 3 has to happen. It could be next fight or it could be 3 fights from now, but that fight's got to happen, and it will happen.
How about Brandon versus Ruslan?
That's something Brandon has asked for and wanted for the past year. Brandon wants that fight. Brandon has asked for that fight, but for whatever reason is, Top Rank and Ruslan's management team or promoter, it looks like they just can't get it to happen. HBO, maybe the money, I don't know what it is. But Brandon wants that fight, and I know Ruslan wants that fight too.
It seems like HBO, Golden Boy, things are starting to be a little bit more amicable now. Can you talk about how frustrating it's been for you to have to choose between Golden Boy and HBO?
You know what? It's not frustrating at all. Golden Boy had a great relationship with Golden Boy. Golden Boy had a great relationship with HBO. at one time. Then he went to Showtime, did great things with Showtime. Now he's coming back to HBO. We've had a lot of fighters do the same thing. You know, Cotto fights for HBO, then he goes and fights for Showtime for a couple of fights, and then he comes back to HBO. So it's boxing. It's all about business and who sells and who doesn't. Cotto could go to Showtime next fight and then come back to HBO, and they're still gonna want him back. Canelo went to Showtime. Now he's back, and of course they took him back because he sells a lot. You know, so I think both companies are great. I don't think it's difficult. There's a lot of fights that we would like to see, but might never happen. But HBO is still doing their thing. Showtime's doing their thing, and they got great fights going on.
That was cool though, huh? It did, like, dramatically.
Robert, I noticed that people are playing chess by the side of the ring. Is that your doing?
No, that's not me. It's you know, my Russians are the ones that started that, and now it looks like everybody's doing it. I never play that, you know. That's you know, I guess it's fun for them, but I don't even want to get into it because then I'll get hooked and I'll be right there too, and not pay attention to my fighters.
Awesome. Well, once again, Robert, thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And good luck to Marco for the fight.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Thank you. All right, bro.
Cheers, man.